social engineers are everywhere. We are ruled by psychopaths who have used teams of behavioral psychologists to nudge society in one direction or another. Recently, Britain even apologized for using totalitarian methods of propaganda to create fear and hysteria to subdue the population during the pandemic. The UK government has a PSYOP group known as the Behavioural Insights Team, or the Nudge Unit, which has used weaponized fear during the COVID pandemic. These psychological managers have piles of research and data on what's effective in moving the masses. Sometimes this happens through intentionally coordinated lockstep political policies like lockdowns and social distancing. Other times through intentional economic pain like high gas prices to alter consumer behavior. And the most obvious, nudging, if one is capable of seeing it, occurs with intentional lies and propaganda to manipulate thoughts and feelings about events that are also often intentionally prepared in a way to affect our view. Professor Dr. Axel Buether conducted one of the largest studies on color, memory, experience, and behavior that has its own TED Talk, which will be linked below. It involved millions of images and 500 subjects over 5 years. The effects of different colors on our emotional state are rarely acknowledged by the individual because the process is largely subconscious. But our memory determines what a color means to us and how colors affect our thoughts and feelings. Colors determine the experience of ourself and the environment. They also influence our behavior and control our actions, even though we are rarely able to recognize the causes. According to the dedicated website of Dr. Axel Buether, color psychology is based on the understanding of the effects of colors on the experience and behavior of people. Consequences for the design and communication process can be derived from an understanding of color meaning and color effects. Applied color psychology promotes the functionality of design and the effectiveness of communication. In a different study, researchers did a series of repetitive tasks with subjects to test their working memory based on objects, location, and color. While memory depleted as the number of tasks increased, the one attribute that survived longest was color. Their results demonstrated that our perception of color is superior to our perception of orientation and shape. Another study found that color works on memory recall, even improving outcomes in those with disabilities. And in this clinical setting, specific interventions involving colors could be introduced to deal with memory-related problems such as learning difficulties of autism, dyslexia, and others. What if you wanted to develop a global learning program using colors so that certain colors were associated with an event and our psychological responses to that event? What if you needed to manipulate the masses through psychological operations targeting their iconic memory and you wanted them to associate two specific colors with two very different yet chronological events you had planned? What if you wanted to connect the emotional group assimilation from one event with the subsequent event using colors? Would you use all the existing literature on color, memory, emotions, perception, and behavior to manipulate the masses in your favor? Or is this just another crazy conspiracy?